With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. Yin Ping. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to Chandala Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. Okay, please take your seats. Setting proper motivation with 3 points: refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. Refuge field, visualize Bodhisattva, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us, as so loving, caring, embracing. And for the Bodhicitta field, visualize your two kind parents and all your family members, including children, and all the dear mother sentient beings, like the human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, spirits, everyone here in Bodhicitta, in India, in the world, in the whole Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe, where you are like the mother and all others are like children. Why they are like children? Because that they do not get the chance to see the deeper reality of the phenomena, yourself and others, and because of which they continue to see them as objective real, and because of which they trust the perception of the things in absolute terms, not in relative terms, and because of which the involuntary pull and push happens constantly, and because of which then they react karmas and thus continue to shed tears in samsara. And we are very fortunate to have met with this teaching of emptiness and bodhicitta, which are left as legacies by the past Indian masters, which we in turn inherited from the Bodhicitta Muni. So we have the huge responsibility to see all the beings like small children, and that you have a response, just as a mother feels a responsibility to free all the beings, to free one's own children from miseries, to make sure that their life is safe, happy, and meaning purposeful as they grow older. Likewise, we all have the responsibility to free all the beings from the sleep of ignorance, that they be totally liberated into fearlessness and have infinite happiness. With this in mind, first we have to liberate ourselves, but there's a basis. We have to acknowledge that we have the basis, Buddha nature within us. Everyone has Buddha nature. No matter what your past is, but you have the Buddha nature. There's always a way by which to retrieve this Buddha nature and let it come to the surface, that all the mental forms are gone, and then you experience total fearlessness, infinite happiness. So with this mind, imagine that all beings are joining you and all Buddhist Bodhisattvas are watching us. Page 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Now that we know the meaning of the following verse, let's read this with the meanings reflected. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all leads here seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes souls helping migrate to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession which helps subdue as expand a variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teachers who gather and protect her, to you are mere prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I yearn the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham datagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhat shamanaya swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashrama Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaya swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times of the obeisance. The four seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending into sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings from miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries glow. Instructions imparting from the four attachments. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. Praise to Shakman Buddha. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the four destroyer, completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the complete and full awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O Supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, we pace our seven strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom motion like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the three worlds, one of the west, Lord, you are prostrate. With a supreme size, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you are prostrate. Prostrate like you, the three worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you are prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, filled of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you that Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that the virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop or two, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through this merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 29, Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Gem, and thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on the mass of Valchas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalogadeshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty within their age. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is no other than form, form is also no other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, and composite factors in consciousness empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object with touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, so on up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Cessation path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint in nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Yata Om Gade Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhi Swaham. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from their concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalogateshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you've indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, entirely along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatha Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing part of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments remain in accord with the Dharma, may auspices of perfect happiness play. Okay, 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe-la Thamba. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as a Luvis amongst all, and from the very depth of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. Allow my deeds to may I probe it in my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear for their rage to find as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself and defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the saints with aid of mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom eyes blinded by ignorance. 7 in practice, the next page, excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samadhi. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, God of freedom in the present, past and future, and the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down, with the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas visualize it real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas, numberless as particles. Each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas, and confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking accidents of Buddhas, and celebrate all of you Sugatas. Beautiful flowers and regal gardens, sweet music, scented walls and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense offered to you victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array offered to victorious ones. But transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here as still training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons, numberless atoms of the world, for the happiness well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostration, offering, and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, and now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, model offering, next page, page 40. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this is a Buddha filled and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy the pure land. The 4 Dhammas of Venerable Gambopa, May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dhammas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious Bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an accurate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Ratna Manjalagam Nirateyami. Next page, 42. The foundation of all good qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and a perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly saying this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate that mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Find a firm and definite conviction in this. Please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Let by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all mother migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in Supreme Bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop Bodhicitta but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects, they can please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of karma body and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the true attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledge them like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, as soon as Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Guru so show the noble path, and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, to enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of stages of the paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, a Manjushri master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani to show holds the demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sage of the land of snows, those under by your feet and make prostrations. Namo Jares Tamakamba Ombo Jambayam Hajan Kebe Tsoye Tsogaba Lo Satabe Shak Sovadem Namazarate Jajaresim Tana gembe wambo jambe yang hanje kebe zo ye zo ka ba lo sa cha be sha la zo wa de me me ze be te je je re se che me kembe ombo jambe yam hanje kembe zo ye zo ka ba lo sa cha be sha lo zo de. You are the Bodhicitta, great treasure of non-revisional compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception. Sankapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, lost on top at your feet, I make prostrations. Okay, the next generating the mud of consummate yoga, which has 4 parts. First, the shamatha meditation, Singapore meditation. 5 minutes. So here again, since that this is the second last day, I like to reiterate that for the Singapore meditation, I know that some of you are very interested in all these practices, and for the Singapore meditation, the focus must be on, of course, for the, the sitting posture, cross-legged if you can. If not, don't worry. But the backbone, if you don't have the backache problem, so forth, then sit upright. This is extremely important. Not bend or leaning against the support. Just upright. That's very important. And the next is that the eyes not closed, eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and breathe normally, and the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excess vacuum saliva in the mouth. And then the right hand, left hand, okay, that's fine. And the body upright, not rigid, flexible. And then the focal point, the breath, just count the breath. And they are very sophisticated methods also. We are not doing these. Like for example, sophisticated like the breath. First, imagine that like a very fine white thread. The breath in the form of very fine white thread, like the incense. You burn the incense, and the smoke of the incense. Sometimes when there's no wind at all, movement, then this smoke of the incense goes right very straight up like this. The breath, as you breathe in, so there's one little sophisticated, is that just it goes in through your right nostril and goes up and enters through the central channel, goes down, again goes up through the right channel, again come out, enters the central channel, and likewise the left, from the left again enter the central channel. Very complicated, and many people, they may be so excited to do this, but if you don't sit with the teacher for some time, and then you just do it like this, it may not be a good idea. So the best thing would be just count the breath. Just count the breath. Later on, very sophisticated teachings are there, don't worry. So all this will fall in place. For the time being, just do this much, and I see that some of the people who do that, the breath, counting the breath, and they succeed. They succeed, and I'm extremely glad that they share with me what kind of experiences they get. Very inspiring. Okay, so it's not that the sophistication is all about the focus should be on the wisdom of emptiness and the bodhicitta, and this practice is to stabilize. Okay, so then the most important thing is identifying the errors of meditation. When your mind goes a little bit lax, it's just say this is all experiential. Your mind, the moment the mind becomes a little lax, you could feel it. You would feel it, and it becomes a little excited. You would feel it. Sometimes one, but you get very good rest, and then the food wise is proper, the rest wise is just perfect, not too much, not too less, and as the sitting cushion is also extremely perfect. So when all the conditions are in favor, you will feel extreme lightness of mind, and the mind is fully focused on object for an extended period of time. It does happen. So in other words, that the right from the beginning, we should make sure that our mind, if it goes the after the two errors, mental sinking, mental excitement, the right from the beginning we should be extremely careful not to neglect that. Okay, the mind sings, and even if you are aware, still you go like this, then it can build a very bad habit. So when you see that your mind is still sinking, even if a little bit, try to just shake yourself and the just let the mind go up meaning uplifted with little lightness and not sink. When it starts distracted, make sure that it's brought back to the intended object of the meditation. So with this, then gradually the experience will build up. It will build up, and then then your mind will become extremely sharp to see what your mind is doing. The mind sinks a little bit, instantly you can identify that. The mind distracts a little bit, instantly you can identify that. These are all that this is what will come to you when we become little, I say, good in the meditation, experience meditation, where you take a good care right from the beginning, focus on the quality. Okay, ready? Ready? Okay, next, renunciation on the basis of the four seals. So today we'll do a guided meditation, and you can just compare what we did yesterday. Not compare now, but say how you reflected yesterday and how today is going to be guided. And then finally we should become independent of the meditation, where you should be able to do these analysis on your own without. Some people, they use the recordings of the earlier teachings, meaning the guided meditation, and then follow the instructions. But gradually you should become independent. All this analysis should come independently. It'll be much more effective. But at the same time, we need to learn how to articulate these concepts clear. The point is that how do we have these understanding more clear, more concise? Is that is an ongoing the process. So we keep studying more, and your meditation will become finer, finer, finer. Keep studying more, keep reflecting more. Your meditation will become finer all the time. Okay, this is an ongoing process. Okay, with this in mind, ready? Renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce the miseries. It's not to renounce the happiness. To renounce the miseries, we need to learn how to renounce the causes of the miseries. Buddha taught, "He dharma hetu prabhava," that all these phenomena arise from the causes. Nothing is random. And Buddha also identified the causes of the suffering as contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and finally self-grasping ignorance, complemented by self-centered attitude. And the root is identified as ignorance, and the ignorance within that Buddha identified. While there are so many levels of ignorance, but the Buddha identified as four major levels of ignorance, four misconceptions. To overcome these four misconceptions, misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent, misconceiving miseries as happiness, misconceiving impure things as pure, and misconceiving what is selfless nature, what is like a dream, as object real. So to counteract these four misconceptions, the Buddha taught the four seals. First, all composite things are impermanent. What's a composite phenomena? A phenomena which is composed of material parts and temporal parts, should necessarily be undergoing momentary changes, referred to as impermanence. And impermanence is of two kinds, gross and subtle. The gross one, whose continuum terminates, which includes the impermanence of death. And yes, all the plans that we have in our life, the moment the person leaves the world, everything comes to a halt. Even some of the abandoned cities, abandoned towns, abandoned villages, once upon a time, thousands of people are there. Suddenly, because of some pandemic or whatever, the people die. And those less were left, they all left. And the whole city is abandoned. Nothing. Once upon a time, people fighting over the tiny plot of land. The whole huge mass of land remains vacant. It's totally static. Nothing is happening. Impermanent. 200 years ago, once upon a time, this world is inhabited by maybe about like 2 billion or 3 billion human beings. young, old, your age, younger than you, older than you, and the parents have so much expectation from the children, and children having their own expectations of their careers and so forth. Now where they, not even a single person is left today. We talk about the people who have attained the siddhi. Siddhis meaning some powers, spiritual powers to live for eternity. But in our eyes, who is there? You see as permanent, eternal. It's just stories. In reality, it's all just gone. Yes, when you become a Buddha, and even before becoming Buddha, becoming Bodhisattva on the high level, part of seeing and so forth, yes, you have powers to remain eternally. But in us ordinary people like us, where do you see such beings? We don't have the karma to see all these beings. But on the level of the ordinary, on the ordinary level, we see that who, who, who is born dies. This is what the Buddha taught. Yes. 200 years in the future, not even a single person of 8 billion human beings will be survived that. This is reality. And our youth, once upon a time, everybody calls you, oh, you are so young, you are so young. Now you are heading towards the phase of life where people don't call you old, but yes, deep inside other people's mind, they see you as old. They don't want to say this, they don't want to offend you. But this is how we are transiting from one phase of life to the other phase of life, impermanence. Youth is gone. This is what the Buddha taught, and beautiful sunshine goes away. And even the first day of our coming together is gone, and this whole retreat, 10-day retreat, tomorrow by evening will come to an end. This is what the Buddha taught, as where there is a birth, death happens. Whatever stands falls. Whatever gathers disperses. Whatever is accumulated exhausts. This is reality. And just think of all the powerful people in the world. Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, and here in India, Shah Jahan and so forth. Now where are all these people? They're gone. They built extremely strong palace, fort, walls, huge walls to stop the enemies. Now, who's the enemy and who is being protected? They're all gone. The walls are left to tell us that's where this world is impermanent. Build the walls. People, the common people who hardly have anything to eat, whatever energy they were being exploited to build the walls. And exploiters and the enemies to be kept out. Where are all these people? They're all gone. They're all like histories. We even don't know who these people are. They're gone. If you don't believe, you remember your great-grandfather, great-grandmother, great-great-grandfather. And many of us even don't know who our grandparents are. And most people even don't know who our great-grandparents are. Forget about let alone the great-grandparents. In my case, I don't even know from the mother's side, the grandfather and grandmother. Grandmother, I just heard her name. That's it. Grandfather, I had no clue that he existed. But the fact that I'm alive, this fact that they existed, but even I, the grandson, did not have any clue of their existence. Their name, even the name, I had no name of these people. So this is what the world is. And we invest so much on our children. And then children, grandchildren, and eventually the great-grandchildren, if they even don't know who you are. And yet we invest so much on this, we forgot to invest on our own future, on the larger picture for your own fearlessness, infinite happiness. This is illusion, deception. It does not mean that you don't take care of children. You do take care of children in a very nice way. That the child also learns about the Dharma. Child also learns about fearlessness, infinite happiness. Child also learns about the meaning of this life and next life. It's so important. And all this impermanent. And eventually we have to leave this world, this impermanence of death. And the more we think about impermanence of death, the more we think the more we see the trivialities of the world. The things that we do, many of them are so trivial and we see them as so important. And when we realize, when we will have the awakening that these are all trivial, is only when we think more about our death. It's chasing after money, chasing after power, chasing after all forms of relationships and so forth. It's all because of not realizing our death. The more we realize this, all this will come to the hold, and you see them so trivial, like with children's play. And yet, all this impermanent, what we see is so gross impermanent. This is possible if the change is happening on the subtle level. The change that you see over the span of 10 years, 20 years is possible if the change is happening on the yearly basis. The change that you see in the yearly basis is possible if this change happening on the monthly basis, weekly basis, daily basis, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis. Any change that you see around, underneath that, underscoring that, is a subtle change that happens on the minute by minute basis, second by second basis, millisecond by millisecond basis. You contemplate more than this. Stay away from just give yourself a short break of 2-3 days. Stay away from the communicating with the people, cut off from the other people. And then spend time meditating more on this reality impermanence. Cross to the subtler, to the subtler, to the subtler. I then find that all what is composite phenomena should necessarily be underscored by the subtle impermanence. Very fast, move from millisecond level. This is how your body moves, this is how your mind moves, this is how the house moves, this is how the table moves, this is how everyone around you, who you describe as, I love this person so much, they all move so fast. We start to see many things which once upon a time we see them as so meaningful, you start to see so trivial, so meaningless, so trivial. Yes. So when we see that everything moves so fast, all composite things move so fast, where are we moving towards? This is the question that will come. When we see things are so static, this thought, where are we moving, will not come. Whereas only when we see that we move so fast, when somebody's moving so fast, why is this moving so fast? Why is it moving? Why is it in hurry? Where is it going? This question comes. Then we are going towards death. Then after this, towards the future. What is that future like? It's very scary. So we don't know what is the future like. It's like we are being thrown in a very fast moving train by an unknown person. The faster the train moves, more the fear. Yes, and who decides where this train is taking you? To a slaughterhouse, to a picnic spot? It's decided by the driver. If the driver is under the dictate of the terrorists, will only take us to the slaughterhouse. In that case, the driver's a mind. And unfortunately, that is under the dictate of the worst of the terrorists, which is the worst of the contamination, self-grasping ignorance. Yes. And then self-grasping ignorance complemented by self-centered attitude. Okay. As long as we are under the dictate of the terrorists like self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude, there's no way for a genuine happiness. It only takes us to miseries. Miseries like what? Suffering, sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, anguish, the feeling of hopelessness, and so forth. And the suffering change, the lure
the bait-like things which kept us, which steal our time. We are so engrossed in the bait-like, the pleasures and happiness, that we lose the time. It steals the time secretly, and we're unaware of that. And meanwhile, we have been continuously kept in prison, not giving us the time to think, not giving us the time to escape from these miseries, from the samsara, from the prison of samsara. And the pervasive conditioned suffering, which is the mastermind, which keeps us hidden behind, and then making us move on the dictate of the lure, the bait, and eventually to experience this suffering. This is what is miseries. And as you become more sophisticated in your thinking, more wise, the more you feel angry towards the pervasive conditions, suffering, contaminant karmas, afflictions, and particularly the root of the miseries, self-grasping, ignorance, compliment, self-centered attitude. Yes, indeed, that's true. Yes, indeed. When will these miseries stop? Three kinds of suffering stop. 2023 stopped on its own. When will be the day that all these miseries will stop and my mind will finally take rest, get rest? When will that happen? It'll never happen automatically. There are three kinds of impermanence. Impermanence, whose continuum stops automatically. 2023 stops on its own. There's another category of the impermanent phenomena which never stops, like your mind, the time, and so forth. There's a third category of impermanence which never stops on its own, but if you put a concerted effort, then it can be brought to an end. So your miseries, your self-grasping ignorance, your condemned karmas, afflictions, they fall in this category. Okay, what kind of remedy, what kind of counterforce to be introduced to bring this to an end? Extremely opposite force. For this we need to know what the nature of the mental defilements is, and the nature of mental defilements, all to somehow connected with ignorance, either the offshoots of ignorance, ignorance itself, or the subtle stains of ignorance. Yes, because the root of the miseries lies in the ignorance, so the counterforce lies in the wisdom. What is wisdom? A discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What is reality? The reality is what is Buddha indicated as the third seal, that everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, now let's meditate on emptiness of. Say today we'll meditate on emptiness of somebody who you love so much. Your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife, your child, somebody who you love so much. Okay, just think of that person in front of you. And just see how the object how that person appears to you as so appealing, so tender, so nice. Even the voice, if the sound the person makes is so appealing. Okay. And what is your reaction? Yes, my mind is involuntarily pulled by the person. I just feel so good to be with this person. Just being there, close by to that, just everything dissolves. I feel so happy. Okay. So how does this person appear to you? Like a dream that your mind is projecting it, or the person exists as so intrinsically, objectively, so objectified there. Of course, so solidified, so objectified, so independent of my mind there. If it is purely my mind, I would not really feel this appeal. Instead, my mind will maintain the composure, the calmness, without being pulled by the object. It's so objective there. This belief is self-grasping ignorance. How do you know that? Okay. How to evaluate that this person to whom I love so much does not exist object real, exists as empty of being object real. It's just a projection of my own mind. How do you know that? For this, remember what Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, one not those close by the mirage see water. With a similar token reasoning, If this person to whom I love so much should exist subjectively, why not I see this person as I go closer to this object? Okay, now let us go closer to this object. This is what is technically referred to as subjecting this person to ultimate analysis. Okay, let us subject the person to ultimate analysis and say where this person is. Going closer, subjecting this person to ultimate analysis. Whatever is not the person, just ignore them, because you are not looking for things which are not the person. You are looking for this person who you love so much from the object side, from his own side. Going closer, we end up seeing the very thin layer of the skin of the person. Yes, that's not that person. Behind that, the fatty tissue. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages. No, these are not the person. And the whole skeleton. Of course, that is not that person. If that skeleton in the night comes to you, tuk, 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 it's very scary. It's not like you embrace. No, it's very scary. It's not the person. The heart. And if just the heart per se alone comes to you, tuk, 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 it's extremely scary and repulsive to see this. There's something so airy about it. If you see that on its own, lungs, the liver, stomach, intestine, gallbladder, all these solid parts constitute the element of earth. And none of the element of earth is to be identified as intrinsically from the object as a self, not as one with this self, not one with this person. Yes, that's right. If you're sure of this, this is how you see that this person to whom I love so much is not interested one with the element of earth as its part. Now the element of water. 4 liters of blood which is pumped in and out by his or her heart to different parts of the body. Of course, that is not that person. Element of fire, the body heat. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that he or she breathes in and out through his or her lungs. Of course, that is not that person. Element of space, of course not. Element of consciousness, I can see this person. I cannot see the person's mind. And this person's male, this person's female. But the mind of this person does not have the gender. So this mind is also not identified as intrinsic as the person. So now, what are you seeing? I'm just seeing 6 elements. And where is this person? In the eyes of the ultimate analysis, where is this person? Which of the 6 elements is the person? None. If you're 100% sure of this, then none of these 6 elements is to be identified as the intrinsically as the self, one with the self. This is what you're understanding as the essential understanding, emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. If you're sure of this, stay for a while. Yes. Now see if the self does exist as intrinsically different from its parts. Remove the 6 elements, what do you see? Nothing is left there as to be identified as self from the object. Okay. If you're sure of this, this is the third essential of the emptiness of objects being intrinsically different from its parts. And if you're sure, then if these 2 possibilities are ruled out, in a way you are the rejecting objective existence of the person. Yes, that's true. If you're sure of this, you got the fourth essential. Essential understanding the privation that that what is empty of being intrinsic one with and different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Yes. Okay, now, but these realizations tell me if you come too close to the object, from the object what you see as a self, where is this person to whom you love so much, where is the person? Nowhere to be seen. Wow, that's amazing. It seems to disappear. I'm discovering something very different from how otherwise I see that person like. It's nowhere to be identified, to be pinpointed to as this person. Wow, that's amazing. A tinge of fear can come to you because it contradicts with your extreme extreme, excessive love and affection towards that person. Yes. A tingling sensation can happen in the body. Cold waves can flow through bodies. Your hairs can stand on end. In some cases, extremely tranquil feeling can come to you at the core of your being, at your heart. If any of these experiences come to you, you are very fortunate. Continue studies, reflection, meditation. If it does not, don't worry. Study more, reflect more, consistently. It'll surely happen to you. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. But what's the benefit of this practice? Yes. Just as person who you love so much dissolves in the experience of this emptiness, and because of which your involuntary pulse stops. Likewise, all your miseries, stress, anxiety, depression, and so forth, when they're subject to the same ultimate analysis, just as this person who you love so much dissolves, they also likewise dissolve into the experience of emptiness, in the ultimate analysis. They dissolve. You transcend sorrow, mental disturbance, you transcend sorrow. And these objects otherwise which would give you stress, depression, anxiety, sorrow, hopelessness, they all cannot affect you anymore. When you are not affected by them, you feel totally liberated and released. Liberated. Wow, what a freedom. This is known as nirvana, fearlessness, liberation. Wow. My mind can become so light and so serviceable to anything without being affected by anything. All our stress, anxiety, they're gone. Laziness, hopelessness, all are gone. It's amazing. Just generate a very strong aspiration. May I soon be able to gain conviction to stay in this experience of emptiness, where all my sorrows are transcended, all my limitations, drawbacks are transcended. Wow. This is the ultimate understanding of renunciation, the finest understanding of renunciation. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, slowly come out of this practice and take a few seconds rest before we switch to Bodhicitta. Are you ready? Bodhicitta. So for the Bodhicitta, this is something which I already mentioned before, that there are two methods to generate Bodhicitta. We have to study this separately. And then in group we can do that, of course, in Tibet House for the Nalanda Master's course, Nalanda course students, we did that. In group we did the meditation, one session on the first method of the sevenfold cause effect method to generate bodhicitta, and then another session on the method of equalizing and exchanging self for others to generate bodhicitta. We did that. So all these recordings are available there, and you can get these recordings. Okay, so here we'll do the 4 immeasurables and then conclude with the bodhicitta aspiration. Okay, ready? Given that this is something is extremely precious, the bodhicitta, and we have never had any idea about what if such things can actually happen in a being. And because of this is a journey which we have never undertaken before. As such, we require incredibly great support and inspiration and blessings of those who actually traversed this experience, this path and this experience. They are the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Let us reinforce the visualizing all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of us, a soul-loving, caring, embracing the Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Tsongkhapa, and so for all the great teachers you can think of, Guru Padma Sambhava, Bodhisattva Shantarakshita, Sajin Gungan Yingpo, Sajja Pandita, Jesun Tilupa, Jesun Narupa, Jesun Mila, Jesun Di, Jesun Tilupa, Jesun Narupa, Jesun Marpa, Jesun Mila, Jesun Gambapa, and all these great teachers, Lama Tsongkhapa, Gezar Mashi, Kitru Mashi, and all the teachers that we associate with, from whom you got inspiration. Just visualize them. Seek their blessings, that you also can experience the universal compassion for all the beings. Yes. And this is going to be analytical meditation, guided meditation. And we have to learn how to practice this. And not just always be guided by somebody else. Eventually we should be self-sufficient. And this practice for time being may sound so superficial. Because it's superficial, it is known as practice. Otherwise, why the Buddhists don't practice these? Because they're already consummated in these realizations. So superficial means don't worry. Superficial means that we are so lucky that we are doing something which we never did before, which sounds so superficial. Through this practice of superficiality, eventually it will become real, like practice music. Initially there's no music, it's just noise. You keep practicing it and then it becomes beautiful music. Okay. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Causes of happiness primarily consisting of the most fearless wisdom of emptiness and the most beautiful mind of the Bodhicitta. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you making such a courageous commitment, they are so intense, happy and proud of you. Like the mother, after all these many years of hardship raising her children, today the oldest daughter, just age 12, eldest son, age 11, two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, Mother, please take rest. You've done everything for us. We are grown up now. We know how much you love us. But if we are grown up now, we'll take care of ourselves. We'll also take care of our other siblings. You, mommy, please take rest. The mother couldn't believe her eyes in ears, full of joy and pride over the love and affection, sense of responsibility taken by the eldest daughter and the eldest son. Extremely proud, and tears of joy come out of her eyes. This is what is exactly happening to all Bodhisattvas. And this joy and pride they feel, they invoke devotion, their compassionate, omniscient minds to send forth nectar is very soothing light to pursue in all dimensional beings. Their mere touch of light and nectar with the body speaks to yours, instills in all happiness and causes happiness in the minds of sentient beings and yourself. And you're so happy to see this miracle happening. And this joy and happiness. Just take 3 deep breaths out with relief, out of incredible joy to see what's happening now. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering, three kinds of suffering, and the cause of suffering in the form of self-grasping ignorance, complemented by self-centered attitude, and giving rise to offshoots such as inappropriate attention, afflictions, and inappropriate attention. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're so proud, so happy to see what is the enormity of the responsibility that you're taking. And this pride and happiness invoke their compassionate, omniscient minds to send forth nectars, very soothing lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies beings yours, washes of all the miseries and cause of miseries from the sentient beings to yourself. And you witnessing such a miraculous happening towards all our different sentient beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths and with relief. Immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, the intense happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassion of omniscient minds to send forth nectars, very soothing lights towards you and all demonstrated beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies and beings yours stabilizes the happiness and the cause of the happiness the beings endowed with. And you witnessing such a miraculous happening towards all the demonstrated beings. You are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths and with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear sentient beings equally with total love and affection and care, leaving that aside. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, so happy, so proud of you. What are you doing? There is a responsibility that you're taking. Like the mother after all these many years of hardships and bringing her children, today, when seeing the eldest daughter just aged 12 and the eldest son aged 11, two of them come to the mother Tell the Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. We know how much you love us. Now we're grown up. We'll take care for ourselves and all our siblings. The mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. The tears of joy running down her cheeks. This is exactly what has happened to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They're so happy and proud of you. These proud and happiness invoke their compassion of niche minds to send forth nectar is very sweet and light towards you and all demonstration beings. The mere touch of light and nectar with the bodies beings yours. It frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some individual towards others and instead make them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demonstration beings with total love and affection, leaving none aside. And you, witnessing what is happening to all new demonstration beings, you intense happy, take 3 deep breaths, silence, relief. Underscoring all the four immeasurables is unconditional love towards all the beings. Just about its experience. This is ground for you to generate bodhicitta and eventually to manifest your Buddha nature, to experience fearlessness and infinity yourself, and to share this wisdom with all the demonstration beings. This experience is so precious. Just about its experience of unconditional love, which underscores all the four immeasurables. Imagining that you look in the eyes of each of sentient beings with incredible love, with the glittering eyes of incredible love and affection, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. With folded hands, let us make a bodhicitta commitment together 3 times, wholeheartedly, be it superficial, it doesn't matter. From your side, just put every effort in this direction. Even if superficial, let's do it. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers sentient beings. Just in front of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the residence of His Holiness, where His Holiness is, the breath that he takes. Its breaths here, whole in Dharamsala, in India, in the world, and we are breathing these breaths of compassion, these breaths of universal love and affection. We are breathing them, so precious. Slowly transform this beautiful Mother Bodhicitta into a spotless, clean moon disk, horizontally sitting at the heart. And pray that it remains with you forever till Buddhahood. It never departs from you. Amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of demonstration base. But don't forget that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, I know that. I'm not like a handful of sand. I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds. I have a Buddha nature within me. I have a potential within me. Just as the Buddha indicated, further explained by Arya Sangha, the unwavering condition of impermanence, and the condition of potentiality. All these 3 conditions are within me, of the Buddha nature within me. But how come that since primordially, this Buddha nature never is awakened? And what makes you think that today you can awaken this? Yes, that's true. Thus far, I'm being deceived by the 2 demons, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. Now for the first time I discovered that these 2 demons, these 2 are there to so vicious, so cunning to deceive me, coming in the facade of my best friends, and they're not. I'm disillusioned by these 2 today. What am I going to do? I'm going to exterminate these 2 altogether. How? By introducing the very powerful counter force. What is that? The wisdom of him, non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. What is that like? Let us quickly meditate on emptiness, which you did as the third seal, as a part of the four seals. The emptiness of the objective existence of the person who you love so much. Think of this person who you love so much. How does this person appear to? So objectively real there, not like a project of my mind. If you're very sure of this suffices the essential identifiable object negation. How do we validate this? That a person exists as subject for real or not? Remember what Arjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, one not those close by the mirage see water. If this person would exist objectively, why don't I see this person as I go close to the object? Okay, going close to the object is technically referred to as the subjecting this person ultimate analysis. Okay. Subjecting the person ultimate analysis, what do you see? You just end up seeing the 6 elements of this person. Earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay, now you're too close to the object in our ultimate analysis. Which of the 6 elements is this person? None. None of the 6 elements to be intrinsically from the objects to be seen as the person. If you are sure of this, this is the second essential of understanding the emptiness of objects being one with its parts. Okay. If these none of the 6 elements to be identified subjectively as the self, then see if as this person, see if it exists as different from 6 elements. Remove 6 elements. Where is this person now? Nothing's there as the person to whom I love so much. It simply is not there. It's different from 6 elements. If you're sure of this, this is understanding the essential of understanding the emptiness of objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Now you know that these are only 2 possibilities. Where these 2 possibilities are ruled out, there's no possibility for this self to exist, that person to exist object real. Yes, I know that. If you're sure of this, this is the understanding of the 4th essential understanding of pervasion, that anything which is empty of intrinsically being one with and intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness of objects being intrinsically objectively existent. Okay. Yes. Now tell me, where is this person from the object? You have to come too close to the person. In the ultimate analysis, where is this person who you describe as somebody who loves so much? Is nowhere there. Stay in this experience for a while. Slowly transform this mind, the wisdom of emptiness, the most fearless wisdom of emptiness, into a spotless, clean, thumb-size, white Vajra, vertically sitting on the Bodhicitta heart. Wow, that's amazing. This is the blaze of the non-dual Bodhicittas. Imagine these 2 are blazing with enormous radiant lights. This is the blaze of the non-dual Bodhicittas. The moon, symbolic of the conventional Bodhicitta, which wishes to become Buddha for the benefit of demonstration beings. This will guarantee to eradicate the self-centered attitude. And a Vajra, symbolic of the ultimate Bodhicitta, the non-dual wisdom of emptiness of the Arya Bodhisattvas. This will guarantee to eradicate all the mental defilements, both afflictive and cognitive obscurations. Wow. Which means that my Buddha nature is going to be manifested fully. Yes, manifest in the form of full-fledged Buddha, where you experience total fearlessness and infinite happiness. Wow, that's amazing. Like the light, where the pitcher, the vase is broken, then the light spreads across every atom of the universe. Where your mind simply reaches out to every atom of the universe. You cognize every atom of the universe. This is known as omnipresent mind. You become the omniscient. You become the Buddha, the full awakened one. Wow, amazing. Let's not forget your 2 parents, all of them members, your children. everyone is suffering so terribly badly. Yes. Generate extremely strong compassion to all the beings. This compassion that you've generated invokes the Vajramon at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. And with incredible compassion, quickly share this Vajramon, one side of the Vajramon with your mother at her heart, one side with the father at his heart, one side with each one of family members, including children, one of each of the sentient beings here in Bodhicitta Center, in India, in your own country, in the world, in the Milky Way galaxy, in all these huge oceans, all the tiny creatures to the big creatures, everyone gets their share of the Vajramon from you. And in the wilderness, how many animals, they are killing each other, eating up each other. Now, they are taking a short break to feel the Vajramon from you. Everyone is getting the Vajramon from you in the wilderness and forests. From the tiniest of the insects to the biggest of the elephants and so forth. The human beings, animals, insects, honeydews, God and goddesses, spirits, everyone now gets a share of the Vajramon from you. You're being so thoughtful, so kind. Meanwhile, let's not forget that all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're watching. They're so proud of what you're doing today. Why not we invite the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to be the guests as well as our witness to our taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. As a gesture making these requests, along with all the sentient beings, let us slowly stand and make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay, let's see if you can sit on the right knees. And since that will take a little time, few minutes, and in between, if you start to feel the pain in your legs, knees, then no need to force yourself. Then sit comfortably at that point, begin with knees on your right knees, but in between you can sit down comfortable. The pain should not hamper our reflection on these thoughts. Okay, just wholeheartedly visualize all the Bodhisattvas, particularly Buddha Shakyamuni and His Holiness the Dharma is right here with us. And yes, of course, you'll be extremely happy. And many of us remember, can remember what His Holiness said once, not too long ago. If you really feel that I'm your teacher, then you should practice Bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness. That's what He said. So if you could just imagine that if He sees what we are doing here, He would be extremely happy. So this is exactly what is happening to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. The only thing is we don't have the karma to see them watching us, and in reality they are watching us. And like to your parents, you as a little girl, little boy, age 4 or 5, for the first time in your life, making public appearance on behalf of the school, and your parents knowing that whatever they have to do that day, they leave them behind to join the audience, waving their hands to you, to give you moral support, and they're so proud of you. They wave their hands and saying that we are here, we are so proud of you. And you seeing your parents there, you also feel so happy, proud, and confident. And you, as a very responsible little girl, little boy, you bring along with you all your siblings to take part in this public appearance. This is exactly what you're doing. You visualize all the beings who are otherwise suffering terribly to take part in this very important event, and the Bodhisattvas like your parents, they are so happy to witness what are you doing today. So with this mind that all beings like your small the siblings, they are joining you, inspired by you. So with this mind, let us recite the verses together, and by reflection on the meanings is so important. Okay. Together. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and shall I train in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Just feel the joy of having received that Bodhisattva vow. You are extremely meritorious, so fortunate. Feel this joy, and imagine that you're you as a little boy or little girl, and your mother are always getting complaints from the school principal. And today the school principal comes, and the mother again very apprehensive. What kind of complaints? The school principal reassures the mother, no complaint. Today I've come here to congratulate you. Mother couldn't believe her eyes in years. Why? What for? Your daughter and your son, two of them, are appointed the best students of the school for this year. And the mother couldn't believe her eyes in years. There's so much joy and pride. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. They feel so proud, so happy today to see what you've done today, taking the expression Bodhisattva vow. After all this many innumerable lifetimes of day wishing that you do something good, that you don't suffer, that you do avoid negativities, that you don't suffer, and engage in virtues, that you experience happiness. But on the contrary, do always the bad things, never engage in virtues, feeling so lazy with the virtues, but so indulgent with the negativities. And today you have done something very different. Even if you think that you're lazy, today what you did, you came here so early in the morning, and very cold weather, coming early in the morning and taking this amazing. This is a step to say no to the negativities and to say yes to the virtues. And Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're so proud of you, amazingly proud, so happy with what you've done today. This pride and happiness the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas feel today invoke the Vajramoon at their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. And all these innumerable, infinite replicas of Vajramoon from the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas' hearts, they descend to merge with like rain shower. They descend to merge with the one that you visualize in your heart. Thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, like rain shower, all these replicas of Vajramoon from Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they descend to merge with the one that visualizes at the heart of your mother, at the heart of your father, at the heart of each of your family members, including children, each of the beings here in Bodhicitta, in India, in your own country, in the world, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe, including all these creatures in the oceans, from the tiniest amoeba to the biggest of the whales, and in the wilderness, from the tiniest of the insects to the biggest of the elephants, all of them, the Vajramoon from Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they descend to bless them with the Vajramoon that you have shared with them, each one of them. Thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. It's amazing. Today is the day to be celebrated. It's worth celebration. We celebrate all the trivial things like marriage, like birthdays, and so forth, and the birth of a child. And today is something which really deserves to be celebrated. This is the day where you are going to go to the experience of the fearless infinite happiness, where each of sentient beings are going to go to the experience of the fearless infinite. This is the greatest thing to be celebrated. And all these wonders are happening. Look at this is the greatest gift that we're making to all the sentient beings. There's nothing greater gift than this, and today you made it. And of all the offerings, the Buddha very clearly, offerings to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the Buddha very clearly indicated one moment of generated compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems and offered to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. If this were to be the case, what the mention of our having taken this Buddha's vow. So today you have made this greatest of offerings to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. And from our life, we see that this is the greatest meaning. There's nothing greater meaning than this. All what we do in comparison with this, all other things that we do, they're all so trivial. And today you have done something extremely meaningful. You have given such meaning to your life. You have extracted meaning out of life. And all these wonders are happening because of the blessings of all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking them, thank all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Let us slowly stand up out of one audience of sentient beings to make three prostrations to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, please take your seats. Page 51. Let's wholeheartedly visualize or do the reflections as we're reading the verses. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even in the course of my life. In order to further increase this Bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have loosed the seas and awakened the mind of Bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today in my life, I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now I am one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions that I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied trace. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in the heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. Is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the suffering of death, is an inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world, is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease, is a tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence, is it a universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth, is the dawning moon of the mind that expels the torment of disturbing conceptions, is the great sun that finally removes the mistakeness of the world, is the quintessential butter from the churn of the mill of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the bounties of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a festival of temporal and ultimate delight. May God's demigods all be joyful. Okay, there's some prayers.
I dedicate the merit thus gathered to truest realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and of upholding the doctrine of scripture and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path of renunciation, Bodhicitta, perfectly in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Vam gate gate paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Three verses together.